Hi, I'm Tammy, and this is Tammy's Ordinary Life. And today I want to tell you a tiny little story about myself. Well, most of these stories are about myself. Anyway, so a couple of years ago, I decided I was going to try to do something really grab the bull by the horns and help me de-stress from just life in general. I mean, whatever was going on, and that was before this monster that's been invading us for a couple of years, little over a couple of years, came into our life. And I just ordinary stress. I do have health issues and such, and I really wanted to help myself de-stress. And so I remember enjoying trying to learn how to crochet or knit from my great grandma when I was like 6, 7, 8ish, and many years ago, because I'm in my 50s now. And I thought, that's what I want to do. So I went out my merry way and I bought some supplies. To me, crocheting and knitting are one and the same. Now I know they're not, but I went out and bought the tools to do either one. And I, in my head, was going off a memory of my childhood, and I got to, wow, I can make that, remember the string, for those of you who do know what I'm talking about, you crochet, and you could go a long ways, or knitting, a long ways with this. And it took me a long while to figure out how to get to row number 2, and row number 2 is pretty much where I always ended up just tearing it up and starting over. And keep this in mind, I did this to de-stress myself. And so I thought maybe I need fatter needles. Maybe I need thicker material. And I did that. I went out and bought a little bit different stuff and continued on my merry way spinning. By the way, this stuff is not cheap at all. And I have a huge, one of those big, gigantic Ziploc bags. I think I have 2 of them actually, full of stuff. And I mean, it was horrible because then people were getting it for my birthday and for Christmas, and I'm just like, by the time it was over, I mean, I even went out and went to Barnes & Noble. I don't even know if they still have that store anymore. I went to Barnes & Noble in the mall. I'm fighting the mall in a wheelchair because, yes, I am wheelchair bound. And it's like, oh my gosh, I need to go here and I need to buy a book for dummies, because they make a book for dummies for everything. I mean, everything. And when I say everything, I'm talking even a 3-letter thing that a lot of people do that starts with an S and ends with an X. Can you believe that? I mean, seriously. So I go home and I'm reading this book. I'm watching YouTube videos and everything. And by the time my hubby would come home and he'd see the stress on my face, which was worse than the stress that I had when he was leaving. How's it going? And it's like, it's like I don't want him to ask me anymore. And by the time it was over, yes, guess what? I no longer do that, could not do it. By the time it was over, to de-stress myself, all I wanted to do is jab those needles in my ears or my eyes to not ever watch another YouTube video and how grandma says, look, you just do this and you just do that. Oh, I am not kidding. Now, maybe one day, because I actually am a grandma. I mean, my grandson will be 3 in August. And maybe one day I might need to become a great grandma. And that's when I'll start, because let me tell you, de-stressing is actually the opposite of what this little hobby was going to do for me and did do for me. And I just wanted to share that little life things. Like, I don't believe I'm a quitter. I didn't get rid of the stuff. I put it back in the back, and I maybe one day are going to restart it. My hubby even said, hey, I'll start it with you, which, by the way, he really didn't, but it would have killed me if he could have just went over there and zipped a blanket up. I mean, it would have been, of course you can do that. You can do anything. I'm over here just... The highlight of my day is, wow, I woke up and I didn't run over anything with my wheelchair. No, I'm not that bad. But anyway, so I hope that gives a smile on your face that, hey, even Tammy can't do such and such. So, not that I'm famous, so it doesn't matter. You can always say, hey, that blonde on there couldn't do it, so neither could I. But just to give you a ha-ha and, to say, hey, at least I tried and I'm not a quitter. So I hope you like this. I hope you subscribe. You can follow me. Everything's down in the description box. TammyKeys710 on Instagram. And I will see you next time. Bye.